Going to uni, I was like, this place is so different. Because the way I see it is everyone's here to get a degree. So nobody really, like, not cared, but it's like, they were like, you be you. Like, if you're doing your degree, if you're living your life, that's not my business. Like, everyone's here for themselves, and I love that because everyone's caring of each other.
Welcome back to Series 3 of the Student Connect podcast. I'm Tiffani and I am a third year film, television and radio student and soon to be graduate. This is the final episode of Series 3, and in this series we've explored a range of cultures and met students from a variety of backgrounds. This podcast is created in association with Staffordshire University and hosted by your student content team. It is a student-led podcast which shares the experiences of students progressing through university education and inviting experts from a variety of life topics. In this series, we have been exploring cultures to grow our understanding and deepen our knowledge about the diverse backgrounds that make up our community. We want you to help shape the series. So if you'd like to join us as a guest, email us on comms@staffs.ac.uk or drop @StaffsUni a DM on any of our social medias. Along the way, we will endeavour to share our honest stories, sometimes way too honest, but it's all to educate and discover more about the cultures. I must also say that there may be some sensitive topics discussed, and we're doing this because we feel it's important to share in order to raise awareness of different issues. So if at any point we do use incorrect terminology, please be rest assured that this is all part of us educating ourselves and not intended to cause offence. So, without further ado, we're going to get started. And yeah, it feels a bit weird today because obviously the last episode was Danny's final one. So I'm going solo, I'm on my ones. I feel like Deck without Ant, but here we are. It's going to be weird. I can't do my normal chit chat with Danny, so I'm just going to give you a bit of an update as to what I've been up to. So yeah, finished all uni, assignments have gone well, quickly awaited results, but I feel like it's been good. I'm proud of myself. My first ever independent film has been a success. That comes out in a couple of weeks, but when this is released it'll be out, so that's exciting. I've submitted it to a couple of film festivals, so fingers crossed it goes well. And yeah, I'm getting started on my next project already, so look out. Anyway, back to today. We are at Stoke-on-Trent Pride in Hanley Park, which is just a 5-minute walk from the university campus. And we're here with the University and Students' Union showing our support for the LGBTQ+ community today, which is why we've got our little flags to really good right? So Staffordshire University are actually proud sponsors of this event, and we hope that everyone has an incredible day here. I know it's a bit rainy, but you know we're gonna make it fun. We're still gonna have a great time, and so yeah, I hope you will enjoy it. Stoke-on-Trent Pride has quickly grown into one of Stoke-on-Trent's biggest and most vibrant annual community festivals, welcoming not only the lesbian, gay and bisexual and transgender community, but everyone who values diversity in our city. And anyone who wishes to celebrate equality is more than welcome to join, and it's just a great way to bring everyone together and celebrate equality. This popular one-day event turns the Victorian-built Hanley Park into a magical array of colours, supported by street performers, dancers, singers, local artists, and today our podcast. And as we're in a public setting, I must say that there will probably be quite a bit of background noise or disturbances, but bear with us because the show must go on. And today I'm pleased to welcome not one, but 2 guests for today's show. So, hey, do you want to introduce yourselves to everyone?
So my name is Kurtis. I'm a student content creator at Staffordshire and an Esports student first year. We're going into my second year.
And I'm T. I am also a student content creator. I am a second year illustration student and I will be graduating next year.
So yeah, you've got 3 student content creators today, triple threat, watch out. So to start off, can you give everyone a bit of like the background story as to why today's location is important to you and part of your background and identity?
I think for me it's definitely because like I've always been authentically myself. Like growing up, it was very obvious I was queer. Like when I like came out to my mum and stuff, she was like, yeah, we know. So I feel like because I've been always grown up like that, and obviously I have a trans brother, it's been like, it's just good to celebrate. It's like, yeah, you know, I've got this family, I'm from the middle of nowhere, but we can still be who we are, we can still enjoy it, and yeah, that's why I love Pride.
Yeah.
And then I'd say for myself, I was very closeted until, I'd say, probably the age of 14, 15. And since then, I never really got to go and celebrate Pride and celebrate my identity. So it's like a nice thing to go and do and be around people that like I love and care for as well. Be able to share that experience with them. So,
I love that. Have either of you been to Pride before?
Been to a knob couple, been to Birmingham Walsall Pride, if anyone knows where Walsall is. Very, 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 very small area. But yeah, I've only been to them. I'm planning to go to Manchester at some point there.
Yeah.
It's always a big one. So
Would you do the London one?
I've never been to the London one, but I'll probably try it at some point, yeah.
This is actually my first ever Pride.
So far.
Yeah, I'm really excited. I am. It's wonderful just meeting people who are so like-minded. But I will say, my dad does say to me that because I'm from a small town, he's like, Kurtis, Pride in our town is just you walking through the village.
Yeah.
So it's just like, it's like a big version of that.
Yeah. Bit of a bigger scale. And your parents are coming to join you?
Yes, my parents are going to like visit and, you know, just have a little walk around. Even though it's raining, you know, we're from up north, we can have it.
The Northern's can deal with it. So if you don't mind, we were wondering if you could share a little bit about your journey of self-discovery and coming to terms with your identity as a member of the community.
Oh, that's a long story.
Where do you begin?
So when I first realised I was gay, I was playing tennis. And I liked the boy. It was that simple. We were in the playground and we were playing. I don't know why we were playing tennis in the playground, but I was like,
Nothing wrong with that.
"You're all right." And then it just kind of like I was always very feminine. So like all through high school, I was very feminine. Not to people's liking, but I never cared. So it's just like I just kept going, and I'm always very feminine. And I like to like, you know, always keep that. It's like a bit of me. Yeah.
Definitely.
I mean, it's never wrong with that.
Exactly.
Yeah. It's nice to be able to express yourself. For me, myself, it was, like I said, I was very closeted for like a long time, and I can't lie, it was very difficult for me to go and discuss it with my family. So my dad's side of the family, they are all incredibly like Christian, Catholics. It's very not something that they would have expected from someone in the family, so it was a very difficult conversation. As for my mom, like my mom, very supportive, you know, she still looks at me as I am. But yeah, like, you know, I wouldn't want to try and hide my identity at all.
Definitely.
You know, like, at the end of the day, I am who I am. You either love me or you don't.
Yeah. That's
So, yeah.
And so, as you're a student at Staff's Uni, has your experience been influenced as an LGBTQ plus individual? Like, is there anything specific that, you know, you've done with the uni, or is there any way that you've expressed it since you've been at the uni?
You go first.
Okay.
You go first.
Me personally, I never really had like many friends growing up who were like-minded or anything like that. And
Yeah.
since coming to uni, because everyone's so different, you know, everyone's got from different backgrounds and everything, I've actually managed to meet people who have like same kind of like ideologies and, you know, same feelings towards things, and it's been very easy to bond with people over that. It's like nice to just be able to go and share that, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I'm trying to think. It's just distracted by all the music. What was the question like again?
How has being a student at Stafford University influenced your experience?
Got it. Honestly, I think just the university experience as a whole has been amazing, because in college, you know, I was a bit reserved. Like, I wouldn't always be, you know, extroverted, like always like, "Rah." But then coming to uni, I was like, this place is so different, because the way I see it is everyone's here to get a degree. So nobody really, like, not cared, but it's like, they were like, you be you. Like, if you're doing your degree, if you're living your life, that's not my business. Like, everyone's here for themselves, and I love that because everyone's caring of each other. Like, I've not had any hate whilst I've been in university, and I've not had any, like, negativity towards me from, like, people at uni. So it's like, oh, everyone's lovely here. So I feel like I can just, because of that, I can continue being myself authentically. And it's brilliant. I love it.
Yeah. Do you reckon as well, with university being very like individual based and independent, like kind of like with like secondary schools and things like that, you're still trying to work out who you are. But then you've also got the pressures of like fitting in and like being in your little cliques. Do you reckon that's the big reason like university, not that people don't care, but people are less likely to be really like judgy because they're matured? Do you reckon that's like part of the
100%. Yeah, everyone's a lot more supportive, I'd say, like now, compared to secondary especially.
Oh, 100%.
Like, I was one of those kids, I always floated around different groups of people. I never had like a direct group to go to. And like I feel like part of that was because I couldn't really express myself or my interests or anything. And like now continuing is completely different. Everyone's very supportive. No one really cares like what you're interested in. You'll find people who like what you like, people who don't. It's like, you know, people aren't gonna come at you for it.
Like, you just do you. Just live your life freely and like,
as long as you enjoy yourself.
Exactly. Like, we're all here for the university experience. If we're all living it, then nobody will have an issue with it.
No one can tell you different.
Exactly.
So we know what courses you study. Why staffs, please?
I chose staffs because I had a few colleges, universities in mind. Like, I'd been to every single one and I just couldn't pick. But then I came to the staffs one, and it's going to sound really cliche, but I just got out of the car and it just felt right. Like, it was literally, there was some random guy walking past the union shop and he just went, "Have a good day." And I was like, "Oh,
not an A up duck."
No, we're probably not a stalker.
Oh yeah, that's true.
But it was just like that, and as I was just walking around, you know, when you just in your gut, you're like, "This is where I want to be." Like, even though like I thought about going to the other places, I was still just like, I love Staffordshire, and the course, Esports course, brilliant guys. I will always endorse it. I will always approve it. I love it. I just like staffs, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
No, not at all.
Me personally, I actually didn't initially plan to come to uni because my initial plan was to finish college and go and do like animation or like graphic design, stuff like that, and then turned out I didn't get the grades that I was expecting to, so my plan from there was like, oh, okay, I'm gonna go and get a full-time job, move out, just live my life, be comfortable. And then I went and spoke to my tutor at college, and she was like, you know, you can still apply to uni through clearing. I didn't know what it was, I didn't have a bloody clue. And she was like helping me go through places. She was telling me like places where, you know, they'd visited at the college, and like things that I thought would be kind of up my alley. I was like, okay, I'll go and have a look. So I'll take a little list, I'll go and have a look at it. I did have a look at a couple of unis, weren't 100% set on anything, because I didn't get a chance to go to any open days. And as I was like just looking through photos and stuff and students like reviews of like staffs and everything, I was like, okay, this might be it. Applied for clearing and everything, same day, gave me a spot. So yeah.
For whirlwind.
Yeah, definitely.
Are you loving it? Like,
yeah, definitely. I can't lie, I never heard of Stoke before applying, but you know what? I wouldn't change it.
Well,
I'm happy to be here, definitely.
Love that. So, Kurtis, we're going to quickly jump back to esports this time. Have you encountered so far any unique challenges or opportunities within the gaming community that kind of links to you being an LGBT?
Honestly, originally it was quite difficult because esports is very traditional. It's very like the sports industry. It's very male dominated. It's not
masculine.
There's not a very big like market for diversity. But I feel like that's what makes me want to do it more. Yeah. It's like, you know what, I can be that person. That's why I wanted to do content creation. Because it's like, I can be that person to encourage others that like, anyone can do this. Anyone can be in esports. And I guess like, I've had to miss out on jobs because of who I am. But I'd rather be authentic to who I am and do what I want. But it's also helped me, like, I think anyway, people like me on the course, and like I get so many opportunities to host events. I get to do it my way, so being able to express myself authentically, like I get to like have a camp all time hosting events, and it's like even behind the scenes. So I feel like just being able to do all of that esports stuff, but also being myself, it's so wonderful because it's new. It's like in college, it wasn't the same. I was still lovely. I enjoyed college, but it was like everyone was just doing the same thing.
Yeah.
So I didn't have the opportunity to express myself differently. But with esports university and esports like in the industry, I can do that. But that's just brilliant.
And you get to like experiment and find your style of how you want to do things. And especially with like the content creation side alongside it is like you're going to be that person that represents a lot of people, makes them feel like more comfortable, and then you'll start seeing change in the industry and it'll become a lot more accepted. So I think it's a really good way you're doing.
Stop it.
Have you got any future plans that you want to do with like the gaming industry?
Oh, I love this question. So my big dream, in the future is to like be an esports host, but also a drag queen. A drag queen esports host is just like, it's so perfect, it's so me, and it's so like challenging the stereotypes of esports. It's like, it's just brilliant, and I feel like I can be that person, be that spokesperson for everyone who's different in esports, and it's just like, I have the chance to do that now. Like, with all the work I'm doing, all the practice I'm putting in, like, I'm putting that effort in. I'm applying to every job under the sun, because I will do it. Just you wait.
Watch out.
I will do it.
It wasn't a threat, but...
Yeah.
No, but I love that. And I can't wait to see like day that you go and do it, because
I'm well excited.
I'll tune you on the podcast.
I'll get you a ticket.
Thank you. I'll be there, front row. And so T, how does your identity intersect with your passion for illustration? And have you found ways to incorporate queer themes or representation into your work?
Okay, I'm not gonna lie, I've only really just started to be a bit more expressive within my art, but I do have plans I want to do kind of like, do you know what a zine is?
No, but
talk us
through it.
Kind of, so...
Oh, like a sign? Yeah. Like music artists do?
Yeah. So that kind of thing, and we've got a big Rezo printer in the room.
Do you need an explanation as to what it is?
What's the zine?
Okay, so it's like, you can, for example, A4 piece of paper, you fold it down, cut a line in the middle, and it folds up into like a little book.
Oh,
yeah.
I get you now.
Okay.
I get you now.
So it's one of them, and like you can either do it traditionally, so like physically drawing, or you can do it digitally, and you can go and like get it printed. You can just draw onto it, whatever. But I want to do like little comics. I want to do stuff like regarding me, how I've gotten to where I am. Stuff about my cat as well, because people really want to see things about like my cat. He's like, it does all sorts. Yeah, it does all sorts. So like I want to try and be a bit more expressive in that way, and like be a bit more like honest about my experiences rather than just saying, oh yeah, this happened, this was really cool, but not showing any of the negatives as well.
Yeah.
I feel like it's important for people to be able to relate as well.
Yeah.
So I want to try and do that. And then like in illustration generally, again, everyone's very supportive. I've learnt a lot from everyone on my course, to be honest. Everyone has their own ways of doing things. It's just nice to be able to do all of that, really.
Yeah, in like a judgment-free.
Yeah, definitely.
You're taking the lead on it, you have control over it.
Everyone's got their own thing.
And I guess there's that sense of vulnerability there as well, which I feel like is so important. And that'll like reflect and like help you connect with so many people that feel.
Definitely, yeah.
Yeah. Get it out there. I mean, we've kind of already touched on this, but obviously you're both pursuing different academic paths. And how do you plan on navigate being openly like LGBTQ plus within that? I know you've already said about your kind of like drag aspect. Is there anything else?
I feel like just like continuing to push the get rid of that stereotype is going to be so significant, because I like to work, even though I do hosting, I like to work in everything. Like I want to learn production, I want to learn every little bit of esports. So I feel like just being so authentic with myself and prove it, because due to like recent events that have happened in the esports industry, it's kind of hindered that progress. So I feel like it's my duty and other queer people's duty to, like, you know, get ahead in the game. Not like High School Musical. But just, like, you know, keep going, keep that attitude mental, and just, like, you know, pursuing the career, not giving up because of what other people say.
Definitely.
Because I know a lot of people have done that, who've stopped working in esports because people are like, and I get it does get to you, but it's like, the only way there's going to be change is if people fight it.
Yeah,
And
definitely.
that's what I want to do.
And I love that you mentioned production as well, because I feel like in a lot of different industries, as soon as they've got someone on screen, on social media, or literally in front of people's faces, then they're like, okay, we've reached it, we've got the diversity, we've got the inclusivity. But then when you look behind the scenes, and it's still the same, like, there's one aspect of people dominating it, whether it's race, religion, sexuality, gender, and it's like, it feels a bit performative. So it's important that, like you say, if you're dipping in and out of, like, the hosting, but then also the behind the scenes, it takes a what's the phrase? It takes a village. Like, you can't just have one person doing representing. It's got to be, like, seen throughout.
Yeah, definitely.
That's how I make it back. Because, like, at university as well, there's like, I've been in the production rooms. It is the weirdest group of people. Like, everyone's from so many different walks of life, and it's crazy because I'm so used to, like, watching industry, and it's just all the same category of people. But then I'm coming to university, and everyone's just doing it because they're there. And it's so brilliant to see, because, like, I've had friends with, like, queer people who are, like, production. I've had friends with queer people who are casters. You know, and just, like, everyone's there, and there's no hatred. Everyone's there for a reason. Everyone just wants you to do your job.
Yeah.
You do your job.
At the end of the day, yes.
Yeah.
As long as production's running.
If the event runs, I don't care what you are. You know what I mean? Like, that's the vibe we get.
What about yourself, T?
In all honesty, I agree with everything that you've just said. But I have a lot of friends who are also creatives. So I've got people who do, like, game design, game programming, people who are in music and everything. And, you know, it's like, it's nice to see everyone trying to do their part to broaden, you know, like, the industry, really.
Yeah.
You know, breaking stereotypes and such. I think you said everything for me.
Sorry.
Like, collaboration is such a big part of it
100%.
because,
Yeah.
like, even in the sense that there's some industries that are slightly further along than others, and, like, you've kind of got to work together and create that balance, and you've got transferable skills, kind of, or even not even transferable skills, but transferable advice on, like,
100%.
this is how we made it better, this is how we progressed. Maybe seek out advice from these people, or, like, this is how you go around, like, pitch and think, that sort of thing. We've got pitch and things, you shouldn't have pitch diversity. But you know what I mean? Like, have to bring it up in conversation, like, make sure that change happens.
Yeah.
So, collaboration, get talking people.
I do think it's important for, like, everyone to have some kind of base understanding, just to try and, you know, make it a bit more inclusive for everyone as well.
It's that everyone has just, like, a little bit of knowledge. It's like, we can understand everything.
Yeah, it's a learning journey, really. You're not just going to know it off the top of your head.
Yeah. And, like, it's not just people within the community that need to be talking about and doing these sort of things. Like, allyship is so important. And at the end of the day, it sounds horrible, but they're most likely the people that are going to be able to make the changes and have the conversations. And so you need to kind of, like, step up and, like, be the voice of reason and tell it how it is, because at the end of the day, you have got privilege.
I do.
Use it, work together, communicate, be there, be an ear, be a voice, and, like, how make it better.
Well said.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Ally. Okay. So far while you've been at Stabs, obviously there's, like, a really diverse student body. How supportive have you found it within the LGBTQ plus community? And
That's
a big one.
with a little thing. I feel like, because I've not really engaged a lot with a lot of things that aren't esports, because when you do a course that you're so dedicated, you kind of
Get
just
sucked in, don't
get
you?
sucked in. But the few things I've done where I've been around like the LGBTQ plus society and just other like LGBT people, like when we hosted the We Are Staffs Awards, there was people who were like coming up to me and being like, it's so nice to see, and it just really warms your heart. It's like, okay, so it's like I am just making a difference, even if it's just a little
sliver.
it's like, it's nice to see that people are recognising my efforts, and I can recognise other people's efforts as well. So I feel like it's a whole community. There's a big community of people who just love each other.
Yeah.
Simplest way to put it.
Yeah.
And I love that people are feeling like recognised and like represented in that way, because it's not all going to happen overnight. And so like, even if you feel like it's something small, to have quite a few people being like, oh, it's nice. It's nice to see, it's nice to know. That's how you know that it is a big issue.
It's making an impact.
Impacts a lot more people than you think. That's why even the smallest things.
Yeah.
It's got to happen.
I don't think I've really got an answer for your question.
No, that's all right. That's okay. We can move on. They have got the uni has got LGBTQ plus societies.
Yes.
Have either of you gotten involved with that at all? Or
I
plan
haven't
to,
personally,
or-
no.
I have look, who knows? Life's a journey.
Things could change.
Yeah, you know, I'm still early in my university experience,
Yeah.
so, and obviously, like, I've worked with some of the people. I've just not been involved in the society, but
same.
I've met the people, lovely people. Like, I've not felt more welcome. Like when I first started university, they had a little stall up. You know, you're walking around, which got a little pin badge to like represent, and they were just the nicest people, because it's like, they don't care, of course you do. They don't care where you've come from. Like, as long as you're authentically yourself, they're lovely.
Yeah.
And you keep saying you want to get involved in some societies.
I do. I really need to.
Management role could be up the street. Get that CV.
That's a fair
That's a
leap,
third
innit?
year.
That's a third year job.
Let it manifest. Let it manifest. It's not going to throw you into the deep end. We've talked a lot about change and impact. What do you hope to see? Not just in your careers, but maybe the community as a whole, wider society, your career, just change. What hope? What do you hope to see? I don't know.
I think just equality all around. It's definitely improved,
Yes.
but just general, you know, no one really should be holding a stereotype about people. Please.
I feel like one of the biggest issues right now in the world is that people like some of the LGBT community, but not the others. But at the end of the day, it's all of us, everyone's part of it. So it's like everyone should be involved, everyone should be protected, everyone should be cared for. So it's like making that step so everybody's involved and not segregating little parts of it. Because then it's like, you're not really caring, it's like you're just doing it for attention at that point. So it's like building that, I don't know the word, building that like commitment to proving that like everyone is equal.
Reputation.
What
Took me a while.
I don't even know.
Reputation. Yeah.
Yeah, so just so everyone is involved, everyone is loved.
Yeah.
I would like to see as well, like, older generations, you know, because I feel like they've grown up in a different time as well. And I understand, like, change can be hard, but at the end of the day, we're all on the same earth. We're all here for the same thing. We're all trying to live our lives. We all just want to be loved.
Yeah. And at the end of the day, you're not hurt. If no, like, as long as you're not hurting anyone,
Why should it be a problem?
it lives it down.
Shouldn't be a problem at the end of the day.
No.
Yeah.
This might be a bit of a difficult question. Have you faced any instances of discrimination or prejudice based on your sexual orientation, either within the university or outside of it? Be as honest and open as you like.
Oh.
They look up these.
Yeah.
I feel like I started with like my first instance of like discrimination was in college. I was a content creator for my college esports team, and I was like, to quote like from Matt Lucas, I was the only gay in the village. It was that kind of vibe.
Yeah.
So I like created content, and it was very clear I was the odd one out. And I got like death threats from people, and it's quite severe, sorry. But I feel like that made me just be like, right, I need to keep doing this, because it's like I need to prove to these people that it's more than that.
Yeah.
Like, and then when I got to university, I'm still content creating, and there's still people who have an issue with how I act. But I feel like that's just not people themselves, it's a lack of education.
Definitely.
Because it's like people are just not used to it, and that's why I want to keep doing it, keep pursuing, and keep being me, because that's the only way people are going to accept it. And it's like, and also, if you ignore it, they get a bit annoyed and doddle off.
Get bored.
Yeah, and then they repeat the same thing in the comments, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
You.
Yeah.
You know who you are.
Hashtag FIFA. Anyway, we and T, what about you? Anything to share?
I think friends-wise, never really like had any issues. Secondary, everyone's still figuring themselves out. So it's like it happens, unfortunately. Shouldn't, but you know, like a lot of the time with the lads, I'm fine.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, it's one of them. They're learning as well. They're learning that not everyone's the same. I think one of my biggest things is having that conversation with family more than anything. Because, like I said, I'm like the odd one out kind of thing. So I don't really fit in. I'm not the norm in my family. But it's like I want to try and educate them as well as like the people around me, just so they like have at least a basic understanding of like different things and how different things can affect people, what they can do to help make a change. And yeah, definitely like there's been improvement since like I've finished like secondary and college and everything, but there still are things that need to be developed. But yeah, I think I've got my chance to say on that.
Yeah. And Kurtis, you said like you think the best way to go about it is kind of like just pushing past it and trying to feel like, no, I'm going to keep doing what I'm going to do because otherwise the change is not going to be made.
Yeah.
So I guess is that you're like when you're dealing with these kind of unacceptable prejudice situations, is that your way of overcoming it?
Yeah, because I feel like if you give in to it, then it hurts you as a person and you stop being yourself.
Yeah.
Like I remember like in college when I got those like threats, it really hurt me and I kind of stopped, being a bit out there. I kind of just led back. Like I didn't really make much content after that. But then at university, I'm such a stronger person. Like I've grown up as like obviously I was 16 then, now I'm 20. It's like I'm a different person. So now it's like, okay, I can take that in stride. It's like if people are so willing to like diss it, then they want to learn about it in a weird sense because they're clearly taking note of it, they're clearly realising it. So it's important to just keep pushing it because it's like, then they'll just see it and be like, oh, it's just Kurtis again. It's just that, like one by
It does become like almost obsessive in a way, like a hobby, and it's a bit like you can't have all these opinions on something you're not interested in.
Exactly.
I'm not saying in any way that that's kind of like you should question your sexuality or anything.
No. Yeah.
Or even in an education sense, like if it's okay to be curious, but with being curious, you don't need to be rude or mean or hurtful. You can do it in a way that, but I'm sure, like, I know I've been, like, surrounding my friends who are in the community, I've been really lucky in the sense of, like, being an ally. I've been in a position where I've been able to go up to them and, like, have a very comfortable conversation where I say, I don't really understand this, I don't really understand the times, can you explain it to me? Because you need to... Some things you might not understand, but if you talk to people within the community, they can explain it in a way that to you it might make it click.
Yeah.
Like instead of just like looking at buzzwords and things, and like you never know who's saying what on social media. Talk to the people, get to know them, learn, educate, and like just be decent about it.
Yeah, definitely be open to it because I feel like as well, if you are like curious about things rather than searching it up on the internet, you can get a basic bit, but like if you don't speak to people around who you know have gone through those like circumstances and stuff, they'll be able to give you a more personal look on the subjects and whatever. And they can like explain how things have affected them and so it's just that I think you just got to be willing to learn, open to change, stuff like that.
So
come to Stoke Pride.
Come to Stoke
Come
Pride,
to Stoke
yeah.
Pride. There's plenty of people willing to talk, I'm sure.
Everyone's very chatty, to be honest.
I feel like that's such a good thing about Pride. It's like, it's Pride's for everyone.
Yeah.
It's Pride's, like, it's like educating the world. It's like, obviously, yeah, like queer people come to celebrate themselves, but it's also like allies and people like who are not sure about what like LGBT is.
Yeah.
They can come here and learn and like see that it's just, we're just here for a bit of fun, here for a laugh, we're just living our lives and we're just doing it a bit more fabulously. It's really here.
Definitely.
Mine is still wearing it.
I've never been to a Pride myself, and I've always wanted to go,
Yeah.
but I'm very conscious of that. I understand that it's like your space first, and I have friends within the community, but I don't really like do much outside of like our little bubble together.
Yeah.
And I don't want to be that person that's like, can I tag with you to Pride? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm real chuffed that I'm here because I've always wanted to go to.
Definitely.
So
And so there's nothing wrong with like coming along. I mean,
Yeah.
we're all there for a bit of fun,
Yeah.
literally like you said. Like everyone's
the
chatting.
thing is, if either of you go to Brum Pride,
Yeah.
and let me know.
I'll come along.
I'll go tag along.
Part 2.
Go home,
Part
ask them
two.
that.
Part 2.
We'll take it on tour.
Part 2.
And so, with the change that's needed, is there any way that you think the university could help do that a little bit better? Kind of. I feel like I haven't worded that.
I go in.
How could you support it a bit more academically, maybe, and personally? I feel like academically is interesting.
That is an interesting
Yeah.
because I've literally like I've had this like experience where being like a bit more extrovert and different
Yeah.
has actually like affected the way I've done my studies. Because during one of my modules, we got the option to create a whole marketing campaign, and I decided to do this whole fashion show. It was like the Met Gala for League of Legends. It was sick.
Love that.
But obviously, my teachers had never seen anything like that.
Yeah.
Bit of brag. I was like, yeah, I'm original. But it's also like they were like, this is an interesting idea, but it's not in our repertoire. Because obviously, like my teachers and voice, they didn't probably never engaged in fashion, like Met Gala and stuff. So I guess the way it was learned was a bit different. So I guess just being a bit more broad, like broadening the horizons and learning about different topics in the world. Because especially in Esports, I'm not sure about you, but it's more than just gaming. There's everything in it. So it's like learn everything in it.
Yeah.
No, I do feel what you mean as well. Like you just said, like about being in sports and stuff. With illustration, everyone thinks it's just drawing for children's books. It's not. There's a lot to it. You work with graphics design. You can do concept art. You can do animation, textiles, all sorts. It's very, very, very broad, and it's like general misconception of it, really. But I think also the people within the industry, I don't feel like a lot of people realise how, like, who have worked on some of their favourite things. So, like, you know, like really big games and stuff.
Yeah.
There's so many people who like, are behind it, and then, like, you know, just because they like something like that, if I don't like people who are part of the LGBT community, they're not going to be a part of it. But you never know who's behind it. There will be people who are, like, somewhat a part of it. I feel like if they were to do, like in courses generally, I feel like if they were to do some kind of show examples of people who have, you know, broken stereotypes and stuff within industries, who've done certain bits in like their careers related to certain things, it's give people a bigger outlook on like everything, really. It's just like anyone can do anything at the end of that, you know. But I feel like stuff like that, and how the uni doing TED Talks now as well, get people up.
I'll do it. I'll do 10 talks for you.
Get people up and go and do that. Just like, you know, talk about you, your experiences, so on. Just to give people an opportunity to learn as well.
And celebrate the breakthroughs and the milestones, and show that there is that solidarity and support.
It's a big thing.
Yeah. You are young members of the community. But so far with your experiences, is there any advice that you could give to other people who are already in the community, who are still working things out, and then you are to university, they want to excel in their careers, but they feel a bit limited with their sexuality? What would your biggest advice be?
Whoa, oh, that's a big one, isn't it?
That's a bit of a big one. Or maybe advice to how to like get through the challenges and the hard times.
Cool. Let's get my catchphrase out one more time. Life is a journey. but that's a genuine thing. It's like I know people who have like struggled, so it's like I feel like just it's so hard to words. What was the question? Sorry, God.
Advice to other students who may be struggling.
I feel like it's just don't change yourself to fit in. Like, be authentically you, because at the end of the day, if you're in a career where you're not authentically you, you're not in a career you probably want. Whereas, do you know what I mean? Like if you just stick to your guts, stick to your willpower, you will do amazing things. Like, I was on track to being a biomedical scientist, and I don't know about you, but I would not trust myself with anything. I used to study. I did A levels. I was planning to go to university for biomedical science. But I just knew that wasn't the field for me.
Yeah.
And I knew that obviously I'm a big nerd, and I always loved just gaming and esports. And I feel like that was one of the ways I expressed my queerness, because like there's some fierce women in that, and that was like I modelled myself after them.
Yeah.
And then I kind of just like saw like people in esports, and it's like that could be me. So it's like just be you. Simple as that. Just live your life.
Yeah. I'm not sure if it's relevant, but I know you said at the beginning that you're in touch with your feminine side. And do you think seeing women break through into the industry, do you think that's a big help? I know it's a completely different side of the argument, side of things.
Oh no, 100%. There's this really like amazing esports host called Shocks, and she's like a really feminine woman. Like, she does like fit checks before every show. She like does all like she's like got Charlie XCX on in the background, like that kind of vibe. And it's like seeing someone that's so authentically feminine in such a masculine industry. It was like, wow, that's a bit of me.
Yeah.
And obviously I know, like, I'm a man, she's a woman. It's still that femininity that I attach myself to.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, so there is a place for me. I just have to work for it.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. What about you, Tiffany? What advice?
Again, to the words of a man.
He needs to start like having a book on him at all times to write down all these like wisdom notes, like, because they need to
have to watch it back and just write it
down.
Honestly, again, I would just say be yourself. You know, don't be scared to express who you are. At the end of the day, like, you'll find people who will love you, people who don't like you, but at the end of the day, who really cares? As long as you're happy and the people around you are happy as well, and you're able to seek support from those that you love and care for, you'll be fine. You just got to work your way through it. And
Support is there.
Things will work out.
There's always somewhere or someone to go to for support.
Definitely.
And so we're going to end on a bit of a sad note. This was my last episode. Because obviously I'm graduating, and so this is my last episode, and even though the weather's been a bit of a downer, it's been a great day. I'm glad to have been here and shared it with you guys, and I'm even more excited to share with you that we will be back for a 4th series of the Student Connect podcast, and these will be your new hosts.
Spoilers.
I'm going to pretend this is like a torch. I'm going to pass the torch over.
We hold it together.
There you go. Can I have the torch back just for now? Thank you. Thank you. Not yet. I haven't done the outro. So, tell me, how do you feel about taking a video?
I feel like, especially just like after discussions like this, it's like we have such a point of view that's unique to the world that we can give to the world.
We're going global.
Wow, we're going global. Just like university students, and especially just people that start uni. It's like we have a point of view. We have things we want to say, and I feel like we can do it. We can do as good a job as you.
Yeah.
Sure, you're amazing.
No, thank you.
Don't think we'll be on your level.
And if you at any point, if you have any like questions or like want any advice or anything, if I can help, that's not, I can't just blag my way through it. But if I can help, then thank you very much.
Thank you.
Obviously, just say doing your post. But you've already filmed your first episode.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can you give us a little bit of, obviously you don't want to spoil it, but a bit of an insight as to what you got up to and how it went?
I'll let you do the talk at this time.
Do we spoil the name?
Yeah.
Do we spoil the name?
It's up to you.
I don't think we spoiled the
Let's keep it a bit secret.
Do you want to say
a little bit of a background?
Don't spoil the name, but give a bit of
A
background, yeah.
A BAFTA-nominated actor.
Fascinated.
Baffinated, just like I always keep saying. Oh, what else? It's brilliant. It's lovely. He was a lovely guy.
Very down to earth.
Staff's alumni as well, isn't he?
Staff's alumni. Oh, he's got all the accolades.
I know. It's going to be one hell of an open to the series.
Oh yeah, just you.
It was eventful.
Oh yeah. There might even be a special guest popping up for a little bit. That we definitely expected.
At all. Not at all. No, it was a lovely experience there. Like I said,
It's one to watch out.
oh yeah.
It was in front of a live studio audience as well, wasn't it?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Impression for a first one, wasn't it?
Throwing us in the deep end.
Yeah.
It's going up in the world, guys. Just try yourself. Yeah, I can't wait to see what you get up to, and I'll be watching. I'll be cheering you on at home, like. But yeah, excited.
Oh yeah.
You'll love it.
Yeah.
You'll love it. You'll love it. So, for the last time, Kurtis team, thank you so much for joining. You've been absolutely amazing. Thank you for sharing your journeys and what it's like being part of the community. Respect. And I hope you enjoy the rest of Pride.
Thank you.
I'd like to say a special thanks to our listeners and viewers. Danny's somewhere rolling in his grave because I forgot to say viewers. There we are. For tuning in throughout the series. This again, it concludes my final episode on the Student Connect podcast. It's been a great journey with you guys. When I watch back all the videos, I can see a definite change in myself, and it's just amazing that I've been able to share that with you. And so thank you so much for watching, listening, and if you wouldn't mind just, taking a moment to review the episode wherever you're listening, and it helps others find it as well. That we want to reach as many people because we want to reach everyone that can relate to all of the different stories that we share. Thank you to the team at Stoke-on-Trent Pride for allowing us to host our first episode at this fantastic event. Thank you to the staff at University Media Centre and podcast producer and production editor. We literally could not do it without you. There'd be no podcast, so thank you very much. If you'd like to be a guest on a podcast, then please send us a direct message on social media. And to find further support at university, you can visit staffs.ac.uk or your Student Connect team. And so for the last time from me, goodbye.
You know what? I think whilst we're here, we should go watch the Pride Parade.
Yes, let's do
I agree.
it.
Let's do it.
See ya.
Bye.